where the bad pianos start to show. Keys all out of tune, just watch 'em go. Welcome to Adam and Joe talking nonsense on the Outside Scoop podcast show.
Welcome to episode 15 of the Outside Scoop. Today, there's a slightly change in format. We have Casey here in lieu of Adam. Casey, say hello.
I'm Adam. I've just had a sex change.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
there we go. So we have Casey here. Casey is one of my employees, so it's a bit of a different.
Yeah, that is a bit different.
A different dynamic in this podcast. I think I'm just gonna ask her some questions.
Oh no.
And we'll just see where we go, really, and attempt a format which I think we'd like to try later on, where we're talking to just other people. I think it'd be interesting just to talk to.
You mean to say I'm not special?
I mean, you are special. Of course, you're special. You're special. You are special. We'd like. There's a desire for us to interview just everyday normal people.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, I think there's interesting stories to be had there, and it's not all about celebrities and.
No. I mean, I can understand that people can hear enough of you, you and Adam, in the nicest way.
Yeah, yeah, changes it up a little bit.
Yeah. God bless you, wives.
Yeah. So Casey, like I said, she's one of my employees. She's actually the manager of the pub, which I own, and brought Casey on a little over a year ago.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, a year and 3 months.
A year and 3 months ago. Before that, you were in another hotel.
Yes.
And you've been in hospitality for how long?
I've done hospitality since I was 14.
14.
Took a 3-month break to do sales. Realised I couldn't do sales.
Selling kitchens, wasn't it?
Selling kitchens,
Yeah.
yes.
That's hard work.
Oh, I wouldn't go back to it.
No.
No.
It's better than knocking on doors, though.
Yes.
Yes. Better than knocking on doors. So, career in hospitality.
Yeah.
Was that something which you planned to do when you're younger? When you're younger, did you want to be like a doctor or a rocket scientist or join the police or be a vet or have you always kind of just floated along and see what happens?
I wanted to do a large amount of things when I was younger. Like, I wanted to be a teacher when I was much younger.
Yeah.
And then, around about the age of, like, 16, 17, I was like, yeah, I want to learn how to tattoo people. And
Did you ever tattoo anyone?
No, my mum jumped on that and decided to tell everyone that I wanted to tattoo people, and kind of killed it off for me a little bit.
Ruined it for you.
Yeah. It's my thing.
Yeah.
I wanted to do it. And then, got A-levels. Was working in a kitchen at the time. Decided to do beauty therapy for a little bit.
Yeah.
Got poorly wrists from doing that.
Yeah.
And then went back to hospitality because it's what I know, and there's always jobs in hospitality.
There is always jobs in hospitality.
People like to eat. People like to drink.
They do, and it's often overlooked, I think, as a career. It's very important that we have these venues and places. It's somewhere people need them, and you need to be able to go somewhere. The third place that isn't your house or your mate's house. It's somewhere else where you can go and hang out, whether that be a pub, a cafe, or a caf.
Yeah.
And just to socialise in another environment. And I think hospitality workers are some of the most patient people.
No.
Well, behind the scenes they're not.
No. No. I'm constantly pestering you for things. I'm like, Joe, do this, Joe, do that.
And I'm not very good at that. I'm always getting told, get on with this, get on with that, and I always. Anyway, it's not about me.
No.
This is about you.
Always.
So with hospitality, then, what's your here we go. What's your earliest memory of hospitality? Not necessarily in a job sense, but younger, perhaps going into a pub or a restaurant or a cafe?
So, when we were younger, we always used to go out for birthday meals, and there is a little spot in town where it's your birthday, you celebrate it, you put on the cowbell, and you run around the clock tower as many times as as you've been round the sun. I absolutely loved that. They made a big old song and fuss and dance about it.
Which clock tower, sorry?
Pardon?
What, the one in Penrith?
The one in Penrith, yeah.
In town centre?
Yeah. Absolutely loved it.
Okay, carry on.
Not so much when I was 18.
Yeah.
I had to run around it that many times. And
Yeah.
I'm not the fittest person.
No, you'd be out of breath, wouldn't you? You have to stop for a vape halfway through.
I absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely dying for a fag halfway around.
Yeah, so that was your earliest memory of...
Yeah. I always loved it. Mum and Dad never had to do it when it was their birthdays, though.
No.
Gutted.
No, it's miles. That would be miles and miles and miles.
Miles and miles, yeah.
Okay, and then was it something which you did regularly as growing up? Were you often going out, or was it more kind of home meals, or was it like a once a week thing, or?
No, we wouldn't go out once a week. It would be like more your birthdays and that sort of thing, like, or special occasions. I used to go out for. It was either one of our birthdays or Gran and Grandad had a wedding anniversary or a birthday or something like that themselves.
Always a big special occasion then.
Yeah.
Always a good get your Sunday best on and.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And out off you pop.
That was one of my favourite things about it, though. Like, yeah, I really want to put this nice dress on.
Yeah.
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 Really dress up.
Yeah.
I like that about it, though, as well.
Yeah, no, it is, isn't it? It's
It can be a full-on thing. Like,
Yeah.
it's not just let's just go down and get something to eat or pop down for a takeaway or anything like that. It's like, no, we can make this a special occasion.
Yeah.
We can dress up. We can chat about things that we wouldn't normally sort of chat about as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Change of scene from being at home, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. There is something about the rituals of getting ready before going out.
Yeah.
Whether you're going to town to buy a new shirt or a dress.
Yeah.
And grooming yourself and showers and shaving and plucking and
there was a queue for the bath for hours. It was like, right, Dad goes first, then Mum, then me, then my brother.
Yeah.
It's like, and I was always the last one to be ready.
Of course.
It's true woman style.
It's a woman's prerogative.
It absolutely is.
Okay.
Still haven't learned how to be on time.
So fast forwarding, then you're going out and you're enjoying. Sort of, there's always a big special occasion whenever it is that you go out, and then you land your first job in hospitality. 14 years old, you're working in a cafe.
No, I was working in a little pub in Centre Parks.
Right, okay, yeah. How did you get there then?
I got told I needed to get a job when I turned 14 by my mum and dad.
Yeah.
Because obviously they're in their 60s now, so they were working from the age of like 13.
Yeah.
So, yeah, my dad was working at Centre Parks at the time, and I think they were trialling getting the 14-year-olds to work. So it was only like a couple hours during the week and 4 hours on a weekend, like maximum that I could do. But still earned me a bit of pocket money.
Yeah. Was that pot wash out front,
no,
collecting
out
glasses?
front, just collecting glasses
Yeah.
and dirty plates. That's all I could do.
Yeah.
Couldn't take food out to the tables. Like, they were dead strict on what I could and couldn't do, which was fine by me.
Yeah.
I wish I could go back to that.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, I really, really enjoyed it. Like, it was busy and it ended up being hard work. Like, as I got a bit older and that sort of thing, like, Sundays, you could easily do 500 covers on a Sunday.
Yeah.
Which ends up being a lot of glasses to collect.
Indeed.
Yes.
Yes, a lot of glasses.
A lot of glasses.
So what would you say your sort of... did you have any early lessons from that? Any, like, key moments or something where you learnt what working is or what hospitality is? Or
I probably did, but there's nothing that is, like, set in my mind about it, if that makes sense. Like,
Yeah.
nothing that sort of stands out. I know there's a lot that I'll say to the younger ones here that I'm like, oh, when I was your age, this is how many covers I ended up having to do, and
yeah.
I didn't talk back, and this, that, and the other. But I can't think of anything that specifically sticks out as, right, that's something that, if I'm going to continue with this sort of thing,
Yeah.
I'll take forward.
Okay. Yeah. What's been your best day in hospitality?
Oh,
A day that you remember, like, go, yeah, that was a great day.
I honestly don't know if I've got an answer for that. I will say it's probably one of the days that I've had here.
Oh,
Yeah.
lovely.
Yeah, probably.
It doesn't have to be.
No, it is probably one of your event days though that
Yeah.
you do. Like they're always such a good laugh, and everyone always has such a good time.
Yeah.
That it's sort of like one of those that it's because I hadn't really done that anywhere else that I'd worked as well. Like every day was just a day.
Yeah.
Like food service, bar service. That's it.
Yeah.
Not let's all dress up, let's decorate the place. Like nothing particularly like that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, I quite like doing the events at the pub because I think particularly coming out of lockdown, people got used to drinking at home a lot.
Yeah.
And you really have to offer something to the customer to give them an excuse to come out and offer value in that way, whether it be music or something a bit more like, you know, like we say, where we're dressing up.
Yeah.
Oktoberfest, for example.
Yeah. Halloween was amazing.
Halloween,
It was fun
yeah.
to see everyone all dressed up.
Everyone
Like,
dressed up and just having a good time.
I don't know if we actually had anyone in the pub that wasn't in fancy dress of some sort.
Yeah, I think most people were, weren't
Yeah.
they? Yeah, which was good show out, good turnout from
Yeah.
everyone else. Because sometimes you put these things on, and you think, is anyone going to turn up?
Yeah.
That's always at the back of your mind. Is anyone going to turn up? Or are they going to get dressed up? Are they going to
Yeah.
get involved? Because sometimes there's a bit of reservation from certain people, but
Yeah.
no, people when they get involved, it's great. Karaoke nights, for example, we don't do karaoke night every night of the
No.
week. We're not that sort of pub, but when you
Twice a year.
yeah, twice a year, maybe 3 times. Who knows?
You
We
can
might
push it out this year.
might sneak a third one in,
Oh.
but because we don't do it often, everyone comes out for it.
Yeah.
And we've got some really good locals here, haven't we?
Yeah.
And they really do get involved and get up on stage and sing a song,
Yeah.
and it's just everyone's having a laugh. And I think
It's not for some of them, but they do still go around and go, oh yeah,
Yeah.
karaoke on at the Keys tonight.
and I think because there's got to be what 50, 60, 70, 80 regular locals, something like that. They all know each other as well,
Yeah.
so there's always a good vibe.
Yeah, you can guarantee that if one of them's down here, you've got more of them joining.
Yeah,
Like, once you poured your first one, you can go, oh, I know who you normally drink with.
yeah,
Yeah.
and they'll be coming along and
Yeah.
won't lie, it's good for business, but it's good for everybody else. When it's busy,
Yeah.
everyone has a good time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and I think some of the best days in the hospitality are when You're absolutely rammed.
It is those hard days that are full on. You
Yeah.
do 14 hours, you put in all the prep work for it, and
Yeah.
you're still running round, and you're like, go home absolutely knackered.
and everything's gone right.
Yeah.
When everything goes right, they don't happen often,
No.
but when the days go right, it's great. It's great when all the systems fall in place and no one's complained. People
Yeah.
complain, we get it. It's part,
Yeah.
it's
It
part
is
of the
what it
course.
is.
But when you get those days where no one complains and everything's right and all the staff are just firing on all cylinders and
Yeah.
the food's flying out of the kitchen and the drinks are being served on the bar and everyone's happy and you've made a few quid that day,
Yeah.
it's good fun.
Yeah. I think Halloween stands out, your Halloween that we did.
Yeah,
And then I think the first day of the beer festival last year was like the last group that we had
Yeah.
on. That was a good one
yeah,
because all the staff ended up coming out, having a bit of a dance.
yeah,
Everyone had drinks. Like, it was just going absolutely mint.
yeah.
Everyone had a mint time that night.
So, best days, worst day in hospitality.
Oh, I've got a few. You put me on the spot here, and I'm thinking, when? But I know that I've got those bad days.
So I'll tell you about a few of my bad days. I think one of them was when the Queen had passed, and then we had an extra bank holiday,
Yes.
and it was the Sunday before the bank holiday,
Yeah.
and we got absolutely rammed. Wasn't expecting it. Wasn't even on the radar. Normally bank
No.
holidays you plan for extra staffing, extra this, extra that.
Tell
This-
everyone it's going to be quiet and it's really, really hot.
and this was just a normal Sunday.
Yeah.
In our books, it was just a normal Sunday. Oh wait, there's a bank holiday on Monday as well.
Yeah.
But whatever. It's the Queen's funeral bank holiday.
Yeah.
Not expecting it to be busy. Wrong. Absolutely wrong. We were not prepared for that day or whatsoever. We get sort of our normal Sunday till about 3:30, 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
We cope, but we were rammed. Absolutely rammed. Normally,
Turning tables away?
were we turning tables away?
No, you wouldn't have turned
No,
tables
I never turn a
away.
table away. I'll just always squeeze somebody in, and just make it everybody else's problem. But we're rammed, absolutely rammed, and we did like 3 times what we normally do on a Sunday that day. But we had normally done a full Sunday
Yeah.
in 3-4 hours. The kitchen was running low on stock. The bar was running low on stock. Yeah.
Running out of stock.
When you got nothing left, and you're like, oh Christ, what we do? We had stock, but nothing was prepped. We prepped for a certain amount,
Yeah.
and then you leave a little buffer with your
Yeah.
prep. But we were absolutely.
Thing is, on a Sunday, you do get that certain 3 o'clock sort of rate. It's quieting down. Oh no, great, we've got to do it all again.
Yeah, yeah.
Sort of.
So and so I jumped into the kitchen, and
True.
I know, true hero. I jump into the kitchen, chefs are firing out the food, and I'm manically prepping. I'm peeling potatoes, I'm chopping veg, I'm mashing, I'm roasting, I'm making Yorkshire puddings, and I'm trying to do what is normally 2-3 hours worth of prep work. I'm trying to get it done in 15 minutes.
I think I've been told about this date, by the way. Not from you.
Probably from customers.
Yeah.
And it just went wrong. It just went wrong.
Nothing was going right.
Nothing was going right. We had checks on for over an hour as I'm trying my best to get roast dinners prepped and burgers made and fish defrosted out of the freezer for fish and chips and just throwing everything I can at it, making sure that we can get food out still. And
I mean, there's only so quick you can peel a potato.
yeah, it's only so quick. Yeah.
prep
And
veg.
I always like to say yes, and always like to bring people in. I always like to say, yeah, you can have a table.
Yeah.
But that day it bit me on the arse because
You do get to a point where it's like you're not going to enjoy your service.
Yeah.
And you're going to wait a long time
yeah,
and have to go, no.
and when the tickets and the checks start getting to an hour, we know in the kitchen, but we're late. We know we're behind, and out front know they're behind, and the customer. We've all been there. Like, why is my food taking so long?
Yeah.
And you kind of get 20 minutes, 30 minutes. That's about how long it should take.
Yeah.
And then it gets 45 and you're starting to get a little bit, where's my food? You get to an hour, you're starting to get a bit hangry as a customer.
Yeah.
And it's really hard to, like, I don't know, what do you say to a customer when like you can see the kitchen's packed
Yeah.
and they're doing everything they can. They're not standing around in the kitchen.
No.
The customer sometimes, I feel this customer sometimes thinks they're just standing around doing that.
Yeah.
They're at the back having a fag, they're not getting the food done.
Taking the time.
But you're running around like a blue-ass fly.
Yeah. I've been there, done that.
Yeah.
I've done the kitchen side of it as well.
Yeah.
Like, it is honestly just firing as much as you can.
Yeah, and you're just trying to do what you can.
Yeah.
And it just end up making the situation worse.
Yeah.
You better be podcasting.
No, Adam's back. We are podcasting.
Are you?
Yeah.
Really?
Adam has now arrived.
Evening, everyone.
We're on episode 15. I'll just bring Adam up to speed.
I bloody want to be.
We are no, thank you. We are doing a special episode, interviewing a normal person
So you're doing the first.
in the microphone.
You're doing the first special without me.
Well, you weren't here. I was getting bored waiting.
I had important things to attend to. Anyway, I'll let you carry on.
And yeah, that was one of the worst days in hospitality anyway. For me.
I think one of my worst ones would have been not long after I started at the hotel. They were short-staffed constantly, because where isn't in hospitality?
Yeah,
You can always have more staff.
always short staffed.
Always.
You could always have more.
And I think it was like my second or third day, and the general manager turned around and said, "Oh, I'm gonna have to do this and I'm gonna have to do that. Like, I'm gonna work 3 solid days in a row, and full days at that to keep the hotel open, and because we're that short staffed, I was like, well, I'm more than happy to help and like pull in a few extra hours if you need to. Hourly paid at that point.
Rack
You
up
do,
the hours.
you do
Yeah.
rack up the hours, don't you?
Oh yeah.
And I think it was the first time that I'd done an open, and I'd never ever done one before. I had someone trying to pay for their room and the food that they'd had, and I remember turning around to them and I was like, it's the first open that I've ever done. I'm really sorry, you're going to have to be patient with me. And then I think we had a power cut as well, so the none of the card machines were operational because they were all Wi-Fi based. I was like, it couldn't have gone worse. And then later on in that evening, there was only 2 of us on, full hotel, 1 chef in the kitchen. We were doing pot washing, bar service, food service. I think there was a couple issues with housekeeping and that sort of thing as well. So we were running up to the rooms, changing beds whilst waiting on food being cooked and that sort of thing. It was an absolute nightmare. I got home and I think I cried. Like,
there's many days where you cry
there are
into
many
the
days
pillow
when I
and
cry,
the hospitality, and I think it's the ups and downs which can cause some problems for some people, and that's why I think there's some terrible addictions in this.
Yeah.
I think it's the same for any industry. You always get the people which they'll cope with drink or drugs, but I think in hospitality there's quite a bit of it because it is long hours.
Yeah.
It is hard work, whether you're out front or in the kitchen. You're out front smiling, people pleasing all day, and in the kitchen you're working in hot, damp, cold environments, doing nothing 1 minute, 40 covers the next.
In the kitchen as well. Yeah. There's no in between.
There's no in between.
No.
Yeah. And you could be doing nothing 1 minute and then 40 covers on, and you bang 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 with nothing. So your adrenaline's up, your adrenaline's down. It's up down up down up down, and that can lead to
your body is all over the place from it. Yeah.
And that's why we see these. I've hired numerous chefs. I could too many to count, and not all of them, but a good solid number of them struggling with alcoholism or drug addiction, and money goes in one hand and it's straight behind the bar for the next one. And it's just something which I always encourage, is to make sure everybody pays for their drinks when it comes to staff drinking at the pub or wherever it is. You buy the drinks. There's no discounts. So I don't encourage drinking for the staff.
One of the things that you said to me though when you sat me down for an interview, you were like, "Oh, do you like going out on the weekend? Do you like drinking or anything like that?" I can understand it from your perspective if you're leaving me in your pub all day.
Yeah.
Not actually really knowing me all that well after chatting away to me for half an hour.
Yeah.
Going, are you gonna drink my profits?
Yeah. That's the thing.
That's a massive thing.
And I've had people work for me, chefs in front of house, who will just drink the profit. They'll sneak it in somehow. They'll try and get the drink.
Yeah.
And it's just, you got to be careful with it. It's the industry we're in. I understand that's how some people cope, and it's not my place to judge. Or is it my place to help? I don't know. That's another question. But it's not my place to judge them.
There's a duty of care to it, and you can turn around and go, look, you should be watching how much you're drinking, and like there is places that you can guide people to help them with that sort of thing. But at the end of the day, you can't control what a person's vice is. Yeah. Really.
Yeah. We've all got vices.
Yeah.
And it's
just get me 5 vapes and I'm happy.
Yeah, you got your vaping. And I've got losing money. I love losing money.
You love spending money, Joe.
Yeah. Just never making a profit. That's my vice. And I enjoy hospitality. I think it's very interesting. I think you see the human side of. I think it's quite a human. What's the word I'm looking for? It's quite a real business.
Yeah, I get what you mean. I'm trying to think of the word now myself.
But you're interacting with people.
It's a very social.
You're seeing all
job. Yeah.
aspects of life.
Yeah.
And
I mean, we get people coming in that have just gotten married, or that have graduated and are celebrating, or we get people coming in following funerals.
Yeah.
It is such a big variety.
From cradle to grave.
Yeah.
And yeah, you see every part of that. You see, like you say, newly marrieds, divorcees,
Yeah.
newborns, funerals, first dates, last dates.
Yeah.
We've had people break up in the like.
Oh, I haven't seen that yet. I can't wait for that.
Oh no, I've had breakups in the pub.
Me and Dan nearly broken up in the pub.
It cost me. No, and you are back, so aren't you? This is interesting. So you actually barred your boyfriend from the pub
I did, yes.
because he was him and the regular got in a bit of a disagreement.
They were just bickering, and one of them had a fair bit to drink and does like an argument, and I think he was just continuing to push his luck for a few weeks.
Yeah.
And he knows this because we've spoken about this.
Yeah.
And Dan was in a very big mood that day.
Yeah.
And snapped. And I remember turning round.
I think he was trying to defend your honour or something.
He
no?
was.
If-
He was.
If you're allowed to do that sort of thing these days, I don't know.
Yeah.
Chivalry's dead and all that.
He's alright.
Yeah, he's alright.
He will fight my battles for me, but he'll sometimes just fight them when I don't need them fighting. Like, good majority of the time I'm happy for them to be left. But I do appreciate it from him, I really do. But anyway, they'd been bickering back and forth, and I turned around and I was like, right, that's it, we're dropping this conversation here. Anything else from either of you, and I mean either of you, looking at him, I was like, and I'll be barring you.
Yeah.
And then our regular carried it on. And then Dan joined in again. I was like, right, that's it, you're both being barred.
You're barred. No, you're barred. Yeah, I remember that, and I laughed at that, and then...
He laughed at it as well, because I had to... we went home after shift, and I turned around and was like, I am barring you from the pub, just so you know. He goes, you weren't joking. I was like...
Yeah, you're deadly serious. You actually barred him, didn't you?
Applies to all.
Yeah.
I was like, give it this long.
Yeah.
Go apologise to Joe. You'll also have to apologise to me and not be laughing and smiling and joking about it because I'm going to forgive you.
I do remember he came in all sheepish and like, oh, I'm sorry, Joe. I was like, that's fine. If you apologise to Casey, we're okay.
I don't know if he's ever been barred from anywhere else, which I think makes it that little bit funnier.
We should have put on Pub Watch, give him a 6-month ban across all of Penrith.
He's been hilarious. He's been absolutely heartbroken.
Yeah. But that's hospitality, and I think it's a great industry, interesting people, and it's the backbone of our culture here in the United Kingdom. I think it's what keeps a lot of people going.
Yeah.
And it's part of everybody's daily life, whether you're picking up a coffee in the morning or having a meal at the pub or just having a couple of drinks after work with your mates. Everybody uses a hospitality venue, and I think it's something which we should...
It's a job that I absolutely love. Absolutely love.
Yeah.
Even through its crap days. And I can't imagine doing anything else.
Yeah.
And I know that if I wasn't doing this, I'd be sat on the other side of the bar, so I'm still part of it.
Just want to be part of something.
Yes.
Would you ever want to run your own place?
Yeah.
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 Further down the line, you think, I'll have my
Yeah.
pub, restaurant, bar, club,
Not a club.
cafe.
I don't know what it would be.
Yeah.
It would be something. I don't know what, though.
Maybe be the Cross Keys Inn.
Maybe.
Tune in next week to find out.
Oh, imagine the meltdowns I'd have.
Yeah.
Cope, but
Yeah.
it'd
Dealing
be
with
meltdown.
your manager, seeing what what it's like. No, you're
Sorry,
fine.
Joe.
No, you're fine. You're fine. You're fine. Okay, well, we'll leave it there this week. We might return back with another special feature, interviewing somebody else, just a random person.
Yeah.
Thank you, Casey.
No problem, Joe. Thank you.
And Adam normally says this part, but like, share, and subscribe. And we'll be back same time next time on The Outside Scoop.
We.
Where the bad pianos start to show, keys all out of tune, just watch 'em go. Welcome to Adam and Joe, talking nonsense on the Outside Scoop podcast show.